Oh, hello. Welcome to another video. Today's video we're going to be asking the question, is Games Workshop turning its back on Into the Dark? And if you're familiar with Betteridge's law of headlines, you now know the answer to that question, but we're going to persevere anyway. Why am I even posing the question? Well, it's to do with Warhammer World Kill Team events. So there are two Warhammer World Kill Team events upcoming in the future. There's Return to the Shadows on the 17th of December. Tickets are already sold out. Me and Zimbad are going. We'll be there. So if you're there, if you're going to be there, definitely let us know in the comments, because it will be great to get a drink with you, a coffee, a beer, a beverage of your choice. They've announced a second tournament in February. Tickets are going on sale in November at some point. We're hoping to get tickets to that as well. The tickets to these events sell out phenomenally quickly, so just bear that in mind if you're kind of watching this video and going, oh, I don't know if maybe I will, maybe I won't, I'll decide nearer the time. They will sell out on the day they go up, just so you know. Both these events have something in common. There are no Into the Dark tables at either event, so despite the fact this really they're obviously themed around the boxes, so it's Kroot and Navy, and it's Necrons and Kazakin, and I would guess there are going to be two more events in the next 2 quarters to tie in with those 2 boxes as well, but they're not having any Into the Dark tables, which is very confusing to me. So why? Now Zimbad actually argues really strongly that it just makes sense to him. It's like a no-brainer. Like, of course I'm not running Into the Dark. I feel like, because he thinks that it will be a big ask to assume that people would get the book for either the Into the Dark box, or the one that's sold out, right? That you need an extra book, essentially, is his argument to play on. I refer to it as Into the Dark. The actual rule set is called Gallo Dark, but to play on the Gallo Dark, you need this second book. I don't personally think that Games Workshop cares about assuming that you're going to buy an extra book, because they're Games Workshop, and assuming that you're going to buy an extra book is kind of part of their whole strategy sometimes. But it could be about accessibility, but then the tickets sell out in less than 24 hours, so I'm not sure. The tickets often sell out in less than 24 minutes, so I'm not certain that holds water. But obviously this is my channel, so Zimbad says something, I poo-poo it, and then it turns out that it was true, and then I have to say, oh, Zimbad was right again. But this is the poo-pooing stage, so here I am poo-pooing his argument. I'm the one with the camera and the microphone, so hooray. It just seems very strange to me, because all the independent event people have said that the main reason that they don't necessarily want to run Into the Dark events, or as many Into the Dark events, or any of this stuff, is because of the issue of getting terrain. Warhammer World is literally where they make the terrain. That's literally where they produce the sprues. They could just there could be some internal. Games Workshop is a big company, a big, massive. It's not some guys in a shed. It's not like Warlock Games or something. It's a massive, massive company, and so there could be some shenanigans with, like, oh well, you're the Warhammer World Events team, and you have this internal budget, and you can buy this much stuff every year with your budget from this other department, and you've got to pay the full trade cost for the things, even though actually you're not actually handing over the money, but the money's got to go from this balance sheet to this balance sheet. Like, big business is annoying like that. I can see that being a thing. But at the same time, like, the guys that make the exhibitions for Warhammer World, they just, I think, go to the factory with a dump truck and load up their dump truck with the sprues that they need for, like, their, oh yeah, we're making a new display, we need like 5,000 Space Marines. Just get them into the dump trucks. I don't have any concept of how it works. If anybody has any contacts within Games Workshop, I know some of you do, right? If anybody has any contacts within Games Workshop, I can ask the simple question of why aren't they running Into the Dark events at Warhammer World? And you can just put that in the comment. I'll pin the comment, alright? And if you Discord me your address, I will pop a Mars bar in the post to you as a special incentive, okay? But it's a mystery. So why is this such vexing, problematic, annoying, concerning to me? Well, it's very simple. I was looking forward to playing Into the Dark, and I still can, but I've not been motivated to paint since I did that unboxing. Like, I've masked it off and I've undercoated it, so it just needs kind of dry brushing and detail work. But as I alluded to in my last video, I'm finding it a bit hard to get engaged with the hobby stuff at the moment, and Zimbad and I really like going to Warhammer World. You know, we like attending those events, and given that we're attending those events in December and again in February, hopefully, it just doesn't make any... It feels like we ought to play the core game, to not because we want to have tournament practice and do all the things that you're supposed to do, where you just play setup and you just practice deployment and you do this, that and the other, but just so that we've got a decent working, up-to-date grasp on the actual rules, so that when we turn up to an event and go, oh hi, we're here for the event, I actually haven't played a game of Kill Team on an open board in like 6 months. Sorry. So we're still going to keep our weekly games in the open world for the foreseeable future, which means I can't... It's one of those things, if that's what the big events that you want to go to are playing, and you're interested in playing with those people, and you're going to play the games to kind of make sure that you don't lose the skill of being able to play those kinds of games, I feel. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating. So I want to talk about America. So while I was ruminating, I was going to say while I was working on this video, let me give you some insight into the creative process. I kind of ruminate on a video, right, for a couple of days. I think about, oh, I could say this, I could say that, I could say this, I could say that. I don't write anything down or do anything. And then I sit down and do a PowerPoint and then record the PowerPoint and then ship the bastard. Like, so it wasn't while I was working on the video. While I was thinking about doing this video, I was contacted by Kill Team Stream. Great bloke, top bloke, great channel. Asking me basically, do you want to come out to the Kill Team Open 2 in February in America? And I'm like, yes, but also I haven't any money. And an airfare, like, I've not left the country in about over 2 decades, so I'd have to. It's just impossible in a number of ways. But he did then say, well, will you give the event, which I guess was what he was really asking was, hey, would you promote the event on my channel? And I'm like, yeah, of course I will, because it looks like a really cool event, and if I had a private jet or a teleporter, I would be more than happy to go to his awesome event and go and look at... If you're over there in the States, absolutely, and you don't somehow know about... And you're hearing about the Kill Team Open from this kind of random British YouTuber with less than 1,000 subs, like, if that's you, if this is reaching you, first of all, when you go to the event, let everybody know that you found out about it from Tabletop Impulse, because I like clout and subscribers, but head over to their website, look at it, look at the food, like I've praised the food at Warhammer World. Just the one picture, they have some haute cuisine going on at this event. Like, man, like, I know this is like fat guy goes on about food at Warhammer event, but like, I've praised the food at Warhammer World. This straight up makes the Warhammer World food look like prison food, or at least like school dinners. Like, wow, it's like a cut. This is like a cut above. So go and check that out if you're in the States, and that's a thing that you can afford to travel to Baltimore. Then you do that. Now, because I was ruminating on this video, I got chatting to Kill Team Stream about Into the Dark. We had a bit of a long and rambling conversation. I don't want to get into the ins and outs of the specifics, but basically, They aspire to have as many Into the Dark tables as possible. Like, I get the impression that if, and this is just me talking, I get the impression that if money was no object, it would be all Into the Dark all the time on every table forever. It might not likely work out that way. It might. I'm a guy on the internet that does nothing. But it's just... There's obviously a school of thought that says that playing on the corridor board is the new and cool and more competitive and amazing way to play, and it's just then weird that Warhammer World, like, you'd think even as a marketing thing they'd want to do that. Now, thinking on about this, I was thinking, alright, so the Chicago Open, which is in Chicago, obviously, but is a Games Workshop official event in some way, I think. They had Into the Dark tables, so they were like a mixed event, I think. What's going on, Warhammer World? Couldn't you at least borrow the one set of Into the Dark terrain from the Warhammer World store that I'm sure they have and put it on one of the It's... why? I've already done that slide, but why? I guess I have to ask the question of what even is Warhammer World, right? When it comes to right down to it, I think players, especially in the UK, have the tendency to view Warhammer World as a top tier event. To be fair, I know people that come over from, I'm pretty sure the Spanish guys are coming over to the event in December. Like, I think I saw that happening. So they're going to come over and kick everybody's ass. I mean, Warhammer World logically would be the experience for all of the Games Workshop games, because literally it's the place where it's the epicenter of Games Workshop. But like, I'm not sure they see themselves like that. I just wonder if they see themselves as like a little side thing, and actually the big, like, I wonder if in Games Workshop's brain the top tier stuff is all the US stuff. Even though they're a UK company, like, oh, the top tier's all the US stuff, and the UK stuff's just like a bit of fun and guys in cardigans eating biscuits and talking about the good old days. I mean, yes, that's a pretty accurate description. I actually wish I had my cardigan on. I do own a cardigan. It's kind of cold in here. I had to take my shirt off because the baby was sick all down my arm, but... So maybe we have to go to an independent event if we want to play Into the Dark. Or actually, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really want to play a full thing. It would be interesting to play a full thing of Into the Dark, but I want to see mixed events, man. I want to see an event where, like, oh yeah, tables 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are Into the Dark, so you've got to pick from your roster, and the team that rises to the top is the one that's good in the open world and has the tools to go into the dark. Like, I mean, then it's going to be intercessors, but that's still interesting to me. I know there's the London Grand Tournament. I'm always... Whenever the London Grand Tournament's like, oh, it's a London Grand Tournament, I'm like, I mean, I live in Essex. I realise from the accent you wouldn't necessarily think that because I'm from the northwest of England. I've lived in Colchester for 8 years. 8 years. So London's not that far away. I've never been. Like, I've lived in Colchester for 8 years. The train station's, like, not far. I've been into London as a boy, like with my parents, to look at the palaces and the crown jewels and the museums and the Chinese tourists in the museums blocking the line of sight to any of the artifacts and all that. Like, I've done that. I'm not totally culturally impoverished, but I've never just been to London to look at stuff. I've never been to the Games Workshop on Tottenham Court Road, even though they've refurbed it and it looks really cool. Like, maybe I should go. It's not that much of a big deal. It's just a train journey. But London's intimidating. Like, London is very... I went to a city university. I went to Liverpool University. I know what it's like. I'm not urban living, but London's like not just like it's like any other city in the UK times by about 5. It's just so many human beings that all know where they're supposed to be, and you're not where you're supposed to be, and you're generally in their way, seems to be the thing of it. So, off-putting. Also, like, I have mobility issues and I like to drive places in my car, and driving in London just seems like it would necessitate the application of a machine gun and a bulldozer blade to your car to try and get anywhere. So that sounds interesting. And like, the London Grand Tournament is not the same thing as the Kill Team Open in America. it's oh well, there's some Kill Team, like I don't know about last year when it was that fellow who pretends that his name is I'm not even going to say because I don't want to get demonetized. Mr. Hunt, not the Chancellor of the Exchequer. That's a stupid joke. He might not be Chancellor again. Anyway, that gentleman ran it last year. I don't know about that, but the year before that it was T.O. by Glass, and I watched Glass's whole vlog about the event, and I a lot of respect for Glass. I'm sure he ran the best event that he could, but he'd probably be the first person to tell you at the time he felt like he was playing second fiddle to the 40k stuff in the main, and as I recall, like the 40k stuff's like in the main area, and then Kill Team's off in a little side mezzanine, I want to call it. Not really a Kill Team focused event. Like, and I almost went to LGT one year and was looking at like where you'd have to stay for accommodation and looking at camp like cabins and looking at like the food offering seems super dodgy with people talking about, oh, you have to buy your food vouchers and then queue up for your thing, and there's not really enough time. If you've gone to the LGT and it's cool, then, and the chap that runs it now, I don't want to slag someone else off on the internet because I'm sure he's a lovely guy who calls his mother on weekends, and I'm sure his whole persona is like an internet persona thing, but he doesn't like radiate safe, competent administrator. He kind of reminds me of that one friend I have in university who drank too much, did drugs, and liked to start fights. And that was unaccountably like would attach himself to all of our pub trips. So that can be a laugh, but I'm not sure you want that to be like the authority figure responsible for your like health and safety and like numbers of people allowed in the building for fire regulations and the other things involved in event management, which I understand is actually quite a respected and difficult profession. So sure, he's a lovely chap when he's not being in character, though. Yes. Final thoughts. It will never not be odd to me that Games Workshop aren't running at least some Into the Dark tables at Warhammer World. Even from a marketing perspective. Surely they want to sell Into the Dark terrain. Aren't these supposed to be greedy Games Workshop who are a publicly traded company and care only for profits and don't care what the hobbyist wants, and therefore why are they not trying to push their new thing? It just doesn't fill me with confidence if not even Games Workshop are pushing it. Do they fundamentally, like, the back of your mind is like, do they fundamentally know that it's not a competitive experience? Are they fundamentally flawed with it? Like, has it got a secret flaw? Has secretly the dev team guy been like, oh, don't run it? We can't come out and say that. We're not going to come out and say on Warcom, like, oh yes, Into the Dark is designed to be a narrative experience. We hope you'll have lots of fun with it, but it's not really for match play. Like, they'll never say that because then people won't buy it. Because even people that never ever go to any kind of event ever, like a lot of people, of the people that actually play the games, think of themselves as, well, one day I might go to a match play event and I want to be playing the proper stuff. So by signalling that it's narrative only, it's like it's no longer the proper stuff, is it? It's the weird ancillary narrative stuff played by the imaginary strawman narrative gamer who looks like your dad, and I don't know. Maybe I should stop being such a coward and go to an independent event. Like, I'm quite gregarious secretly. Like, secretly inside I feel socially awkward, but obviously I'm not. But like, I feel that way. But I just, and the other thing is, and understandably so, and I'm not, again, not slacking them off, but like the London scene seems very like everybody knows everybody else's name, and then you'd be like the guy coming into the saloon in the West, and you'd be like, hello, and then they'll be like, is how I imagine, and it probably wouldn't go like that at all. They're probably just all lovely guys, and they'd probably just go, hey, you're the funny man off the internet that can't win games. Yeah, we'll play against you, that's fine, roll out, we've won good game, let's have a bit. It will probably be fine, but it just feels like it might not be fine. Let me know in the comments, maybe there's a really good independent scene in, like, Norfolk, or Norwich, or somewhere else beginning with N. I don't know. The previous video, where I got out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and made a PowerPoint and then just talked shit, like the number of people, I've got really lovely comments, I've had emails to my email address, I had so many lovely comments on the Discord. Apparently people really enjoyed that video. Yeah, I'm happy that I have said something that resonated with so many people. I'm kind of humbled by it, to be honest. It was totally unscripted. Well, nothing's ever scripted. Occasionally I write down one joke and put it on a post-it note. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased that so many people like that video. I need 47 more subscribers before I hit 1k. I'd really like to get to 1k before the end of the year. We're at the start of November now, so we've got 2 months to do 47 subscribers. Like, we can do that, but only with your help, unsubscribed person who's watched to the end of the video. If you've watched to the end of the video, you're obviously exactly the kind of person that should be subscribed to the channel. You know, but subscribe. People don't subscribe. One of my best mates, who I went to university with, who I lived with for 2 years, only subscribed to the channel like last week, and I got an email like, oh yes, so-and-so subscribed to your channel, and I'm like, really? Didn't subscribe like months ago when I started. Okay, good to know. So subscribe, even the people that love you the most. You know, just click the button. Click the button. That's enough begging for subscribers. Have a great day, wherever you are and whatever you are doing, and I will see you again. I mean, maybe there'll be another video tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Today's, Wednesday. I should try and get something out tomorrow. There'll be nothing on Thursday, nothing on Saturday, nothing on Friday, maybe Saturday, probably Sunday. So, but maybe something tomorrow. Maybe I'll do 1,000 Suns. If you want to do if you want 1,000 Suns Kill Team Deep Dive, then write that in the comments. Do the 1,000 Suns Kill Team Deep Dive. All right. Cheerio. Have a great day. Bye bye bye.